Did Shanelle just self-sabotage herself on that stand? What's up, y'all, and welcome to the Lawrence Report. Tonight's broadcast, we're discussing episode 9 of Reasonable Doubt, and we're coming down to the wire. Only one episode left, y'all, and it has been a wild roller coaster. But I got a question for y'all. Like I said earlier, did Shanelle just self-sabotage herself on that stand? Because I feel like now she completely buried herself. And I don't know how Shanelle can possibly get out of this, y'all. But before we get started, we greatly appreciate if you guys hit that subscribe button, like, and please do not forget to comment. Let's talk about Reasonable Doubt. One episode left, y'all. One episode left. Now, we're not even going to talk about Sally and her husband. You know what they did. We're not even going to discuss that right there. But we got to get into this court case immediately, right? Shanelle, at this point, I was rooting for you, but at this point, if you end up going to jail, it is what it is. Like, I don't know how many times are you going to continue to be a friend to Jax and then become an enemy to Jax. I don't get it. I don't understand, what side of the fence are you on? Like, are you holding stuff in from the 10th grade? Like, that's like, Shanelle, I'm out of all options for Shanelle, y'all. Like, my patience has grown thin, y'all. I'm sorry. I want her to be free, but the way she has been acting is just absolutely immature and petty, y'all. Anyway, this court case. Now, we know that we also have on this episode, we have Candy's character, Ebony, and she's supposed to be one of the last surviving people when it comes to JT and his type of abuse, right? But we had old Mavis. I hate that name, Mavis. You know, it's an old school name, Mavis. Mavis basically ended up talking her into doing some bad things, and Candy's character is more than likely going to be out of there because they wanted her, you know, to come to trial, things of that nature, right? But speaking of the trial, they tried their best to prep Shanelle. Shanelle is a piece of work, y'all. I don't know what to do with her. Like, and the thing about it, it's so sad. It's absolutely so sad because she was like, listen, I want Corey to question me on the stand. Now, we know Shanelle ends up getting a visit from Sally. Her and Sally go at it back and forth. And Shanelle's like, well, did you spill the tea, basically, to anybody about what's been going on in our secret? And this secret, unfortunately, is causing Sally to lose her marriage. And, you know, that secret is actually messing everybody up because if Shanelle just comes out and tells the truth about what happened, maybe the sentencing wouldn't be too bad if she does end up continue to do jail time, right? But while she's getting ready to go for the prep, right? It kills me that all of a sudden, like I said earlier, Sally wanted, I'm sorry, I meant to say Shanelle. Shanelle wanted, out of all of a sudden, she wanted Corey to question her because of her past transgressions against Jax, which is absolutely immature, right? So Corey's like, cool. You know, at the same time that we both agree to do this, me and Jackson both agree to do it. So you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting everybody else around you, right? And they end up going to the trial. They end up, you know, Shanelle is actually on the stand, right? And I felt like Corey, he didn't give her, well, Corey kind of gave her some softball questions, basically, right? In my opinion. But man, when Lucy came through, Lucy got Shanelle to act up, and that was an issue. That was an issue. That's what Lucy wanted. Because, like I said, Corey, he kind of gave her some softball questions to do. You know what I'm saying? She basically told the history of her and JT. But Jax warned her that Lucy was not going to play. And Lucy did not play. Because we saw Shanelle get completely out of character. She was like, oh, he was about to, you know, say in the cuss words, kill me, right? And when I saw that, we saw Sally and the friend there in the courtroom. They was looking too. I was like, oh no, Shanelle. These jurors, oh no. it ain't looking pretty for you, sweetheart. It is not looking pretty. And, you know, in the end, Jax tried to warn her. Jax tried to warn her because we know there was a plea deal on the table. But now that plea deal is more than likely off the table now because the way Shanelle acted. Not to mention Corey Cash. Corey Cash. It looks like the Latina, Isabella, who he was trying to save, right? For basically trying to get her clemency. It looks like she's been checking out the news and things have not been going well. She calls Corey. Just Corey, you know that you're fired. Because I don't believe you're going to be stepping up to the plate the way I need you to. I'm like, dang, Corey, it ain't looking good for my boy. Let's talk about Lewis right quick. Now, Lewis. Oh, one can laugh at Lewis. He tickles me. But anyway, Lewis is like, yo, we need to tell the kids, right? And Jack is like, we? Oh, you speaking French now? We? No. You need to tell the kids. This is your mistake. You dropped the ball on this right here. And Jack is like, listen, I'll be there to support you. But this right here, this is all you, playboy. And Lewis, you know, he also gets some bad news, unfortunately. We saw that Tony apparently went to labor super duper early than what we expected. So he didn't want to tell the kids because I'm thinking he wanted to just see, I hate to say this right here, but I guess he wanted to see if the baby was going to be born or would it be potentially terminated. You know, sometimes women, you know, they're losing babies, right? So maybe that was a wild card he had up his sleeve when he was like, well, I don't want to tell the kids yet. I'll wait till the baby is born. But it looks like Tony is potentially about to go into labor, or Tony could be dying. We don't know. I'm anxious to see how they're going to spin that right there. And speaking of Lewis, we got to talk about the kids, right? Now, the son, we saw in the last episode, the son, he ended up having, he was vaping. He was vaping. And he was right. The kids at the party was doing way more worse things than him, right? I get it. But his parents ain't going to have that, right? Because, you know, Jackson catching him with that vape pen. And I appreciate Jax, you know, she did end up telling her son, you know, when it comes to smoking, right? You know, and doing those things, you know, my family, she was talking about her side of the family, has a bad history of smoking. Even though Jax smokes herself, and the son even called her out on that right there, which I thought was pretty funny. But I did appreciate her trying to tell her son that, listen, I don't want you to go down the same path that me and other family members have. Right now, we got Naima. Naima is like, listen, you can take my phone. You know, I know you're in punishment. You can use my phone. But she's in that corner. I mean, she sees the mother and son embracing each other. So I'm wondering what's going on with Naima. Is she kind of jealous right now? Is she going to do something crazy that's going to set her off for the final episode that could lead into a cliffhanger for season 3? Just my thoughts. I don't know. Only time will tell when it comes to Naima and that situation right there. And I haven't really spent too much time talking about this lady right here, talking about Lucy. We know that she's kind of worried that her son is about to go, I think they're about to go on vacation with the son's father, or a trip or something like that. And it looks like she put some type of device. I think it might have been a tracking device. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong, but some type of device that she basically put in her son's jacket. Later on, we end up seeing the father actually discover the device. I'm curious about that storyline. It's really not intriguing me. Like, it is what it is when it comes to that storyline. Maybe it'll carry over into the next season. I don't know. We just gonna have to see. But that's my thoughts on Lucy. Lucy definitely did eat up Shanelle on that on that stand. I was not prepared for the way she's about to bring it to Shanelle. But that is my thoughts on this episode of Reasonable Doubt. We only have one episode left. It's been a great season. I cannot wait to see what's going to happen, y'all. Who killed JT? Was it Sally? I mean, not Sally. Was it somebody else? You know, it's so many twists and turns when it comes to this, right? You know, actually, yeah, Sally. Was it Sally? She's talking about protecting the secret. Was it the daughter? you know, was it somebody else? We just gonna have to find out, y'all. And as always, thank you for tuning in to the Lawrence Report.